I honestly believe that we can feel nervous and still be very confident. What's up, everyone? We will be talking about how to be confident in front of the camera in today's video. So if that interests you, then please keep on watching. Hey everyone, my name is Jenna. I'm the host of Called for Freedom podcast, where we talk about how to live a life of freedom in Jesus as a Christian woman. And for today's topic, we are talking about confidence in front of the camera. So basically what I am doing right now with you on this YouTube podcast, which is funny that this is podcast supposed to be audio listening, right? But what we are doing is it's a YouTube thing. At this point, we may be asking, is this still a podcast or is this just a YouTube channel, right? Anyway, thank you for everyone who's been listening to the last few podcasts, especially last week. If you've listened to that, I pray that it blessed you. I've received some messages and it honestly encourages me to keep going, that there's actually people listening to these things and that I'm just not recording this for zero audience, right? It does help, right? I'm doing it because my confidence is in Jesus, but also at the same time, it helps that someone is being blessed and that this is speaking to you. All right, so how to be confident in front of the camera. So I want to define what confidence is first before we keep going, because you can just say confident. I'm super confident, like with my clothes and whatever. But obviously, it's deeper than that. So let me pull up, like I actually Googled it, right? That's what we do. I did not chat GPT it, but I did Google it. And this is what it says. Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. It's the firm trust. So being confident is trust, and that they can rely on this something or someone. Another definition is feeling sure of yourself and your abilities, not in an arrogant way, but just being sure of your skills and your abilities, and that's where your confidence is coming from. And I want to give you 5 tips, actually 5 P's. I did not do it on purpose. 2 of the numbers I did have to arrange so that it fits the P's, but it just happens that way. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I want to give you 5 P's as your tips and to explain how you can be confident in the camera. Because I know you might be just expecting some tips, practical tips. Some of them will be practical tips, but who knows here? Who can really say that confidence is, beyond just being confident in the camera right here, like as what you are seeing right now. Like if you can film or record yourself and even taking pictures and posting it, that requires like this security and this confidence in you. And some people, it does root in their self-confidence, like they're so sure of themselves, and that's when you can know it's rooted in pride and rooted in your ego. But who knows here that we as Christian women, we don't want to be just confident with ourselves, just relying on our own strength, because we know that will not last. So before I just start preaching right here, let me just go to the number 1 tip. And I said here, pray and be filled with the Holy Spirit by spending time with God. Because as Christian women, our confidence is in Jesus. I don't have to say it again and again, but I feel like I have to really intently say it here, just in case no one knows. If you're a brand new Christian, maybe you don't know. Maybe you thought you have to be perfect and confident in yourself so that you can approach God. But actually, the Bible talks about approaching the throne of God with confidence only because of Jesus. And so it's the same. Before you head on and film yourself and record yourself, to post on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever ministry or business that you have, like it really is super helpful that you know who your true confidence is coming from, and it's coming from God. So it's rooted in the Holy Spirit, spending time with Jesus and in His presence. For me, even before I show up for the day, if I'm having a bad day, like yesterday, or even in the beginning of the day, it's been like a lot already. Like, I honestly am not confident to face the day if I did not spend time with God, even if it's a 5 minute or like a whole hour spending time with Him. I have to find a way to spend time with Jesus, because if not, then it's all just like a waste of time for me. Like, why will I even continue the day to be productive if it's not aligned with God? So I can only really be confident that what I'm doing is according to Him, and that I am under His covering and under His grace and His purpose if I have spent time with Him in the beginning, or that I've had already a conversation with God. I know that the Holy Spirit is with me, but I need to be consistently filled with the Spirit of God, as is you, as so are you. You need to be filled with the Spirit of God. It's different. Once we became Christians, the Holy Spirit already lives in us, right? God lives in us. But it's also different to be baptized, to be filled with the Holy Spirit. We need to consistently be filled and empowered by Him. So yes, He is with us all the time, but we need to be filled with Him, because sometimes what do we put in ourselves? What do we put in our spirits? What do we put in our souls? It's crap. You know, if you in the morning you just scroll on Instagram, and you know, whatever you follow, if it's full of trash content, then that's what fills you. But we need the Spirit of God to fill us. And so that's my number one tip before you record, so you can have the full confidence. Even for today, you know, before I recorded this, you know, I prayed, or I had a conversation. Even this morning, I had a connect group this morning. Even before that, I needed to, like, Lord, what do you want? You know, like, I need to source it from Him. Okay. And I said here, how can we be sure of ourselves? Well, going to the source, because He is our creator. He designed us. He knows our true identity. And so how can we be secure in our identity? It's by trusting Jesus. It's by opening ourselves to Him. It's by allowing Him to speak to us. And it's a daily work as well, right? True confidence is truly rooted in Jesus. And I have a verse here in Jeremiah 17:7. It says, "But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him." So truly, we are all blessed if our confidence is relied on Him and not on ourselves. And in Hebrews 13:6, it says, "So we say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" So this speaks of this sureness, right? Like what was described earlier, that we can rely on someone or something, that firm trust, because our trust is in God. So what can other people do to me when I serve the true King of Kings and the Lord of Lords? So that's why the more you get to know God, the more you spend time with Him, the more you read your word, the word, right, the Bible, the more you get to know Him, the more you get to know that He's good, that He's sovereign, that He is mighty, that He is powerful. So the more that you rely on Him, the more we fix our eyes on Jesus, the more that we know that what can men, you know, and mere mortals do to me, right? And I can speak so much on this, but I will leave it to later. And also, the more I fix my eyes on Jesus, the less I think about myself, and the more I think about Him and others and what I'm supposed to do, what He has called me to do. And the less I am conscious of myself, the more I can just focus on the task at hand. The more I can just focus on being used by the Holy Spirit, even as I am speaking right now. Like some of the things that I have said, I didn't put here. I just rely on the Holy Spirit, that He lives in me, that I'm filled with Him, that He speaks through me, right? That I trust Him completely, that He's just going to speak through me. And whatever He wants to reveal to you, you will be able to receive. That is like total confidence. Because guys, like, who am I to show up here and teach you about Jesus, about confidence? Like, right? Like, who am I? I rely my whole strength in Him. And even if I'm very skilled, but still, I will be so scared. Like, what am I teaching, right, out there? And like, whoever's watching, like, you know, even if there's only 10, 50, or 100 something of you, or thousands of you who will watch this and listen to this, like, how can I know that you will be able to receive whatever the Holy Spirit wants you to receive? I can only trust Him. I can't trust myself. Like, I am not like talking to you one-on-one. Even when I talk to someone one-on-one, I can't even be sure that they will really understand what I am trying trying to relay on them, right? Like we can have miscommunication along the way. So we need to put our trust and our confidence in God. And that's the number one tip right here. And it took me a long like a few minutes to really say that, but that's very, very important, which will lead me to number 2. The second P is paper. So read and write your script, write it down. And I did that. Like I typed it, write what you're about to share. So if you're going to share something about Instagram, if you're going to share something about how to start a business or how to write an online course or how to fix this or that, like whatever it is, like write it down, write the topics down, read it out loud, put it in paper or like a digital paper. So you get what I mean. So when you do, your brain will be able to memorize it. And even if you forget, right? If you had a brilliant idea, like at 6 a.m. in the morning when you just woke up, right? Maybe the Holy Spirit gave you a dream. And, most likely you will forget what it is later. But if you wrote it down, then you'll remember it. So that's just a practical tip, to be honest. If you're thinking like, I don't have a physical paper, well, don't be that literal. Just put it on your notes on your phone, right? Like do it. And so for me, I type it and I also rehearse it in my head. Like I was talking with our pastor, my leader in the church plant I'm a part of right here. And the other day he was sharing that he needs to like rehearse, like he needs to like really say it out loud, and that helps him. And when he asked me, I said, I actually just write it down and I just rehearse it in my head. And I rehearse it so I can time it so I don't go over time, because I always do anyway. But that's how I do it. And then he said his dad does the same thing. So, we can all have it differently. But the common thing there is like he was also typing out, because we need some notes, right? And that is just a practical help. And so paper, that's the second tip. Number 3, third tip is practice in the mirror. So I did this before. I'm not such a fan of it because I don't like looking at myself, except when I'm putting on my makeup or whatever, so I can see what I'm putting on in myself. It's not that I'm self-conscious with myself, but it's not my thing. I tried it before. It was helpful for a moment, but I just prefer doing it like with memorizing, and because there's just so much. I don't care how I look. I just look at the mirror before I go on stage or whatever. Like even today, like I look in the mirror. I know I look a little bit pale, but I need to be fast today. So I'm just recording this on the go, like very, very fast actually. But like we still need to look in the mirror just to make sure that everything is like I'm actually looking presentable, right? But how about you? Like you can practice in front of the mirror. I have done that in the past. It's worked for me for a bit. Some people still do it. That might help someone right here. So that's just another practical tip for you. And let's go to number 4. I love this tip and I've used it before, especially when I just started with Instagram back in 2019. It's Post-its or another device with your notes. So actually I write down my notes. I have my notes right here. So I still use it. I don't have Post-its, but I used to do this before. Like my Post-its, I would put it in next to like, where I'm recording, just so I can see it. And I can be really attentive. Like I can just look and browse right there. But for me now, because I've already rehearsed, I type it down, and the Holy Spirit is just so kind and just filling me. So I just say whatever and just look at the camera. And then if I forget something, I just take in and look at my notes, and I'm not that self-conscious with it. But if if it really helps you, especially when it's live, right? And you don't want to, if you feel a little self-conscious still, then that will help you. Putting the Post-it notes next to the camera, so you can just remember it. Like if there's a wall, like, in there, that's also better. And that's why we have teleprompters, right? I also saw that before, that there's this app with a teleprompter. So it does flash the words that you're about to say, the scripts. And TV and studios still do this. They have teleprompters. Some would have posters, right? Especially if it's in front of the live audience, when you want to be as presentable as possible. Post-its are the cheapest possible, or having the paper, but for me, my notes is just right here in my lap even. So that is another tip. And last one is preparation and getting ready. So I know some of the things already sounds like preparation, but I'm talking more about, apart from the spiritual preparation, which was the number one, so the root is really Jesus, but this preparation that I'm talking about is getting ready. Like, I know that we don't want to hide behind makeup, but I'm telling you, for me, when I put on makeup, even if it's a little bit, like for today, I didn't have makeup on this morning, and I just put a little bit of mascara just so that I don't look that pale, like, in the camera. I didn't even put that much makeup. I don't have any foundation on. I just put a little bit of thing in my eyebrow, mascara, and a little bit of powder and concealer, but that's it. I only have lip balm. So if I really look pale, that's what it is. This is a podcast anyway, but obviously the video is the bonus part. But my point is that I'm not saying, please hear me out, I'm not saying that we should hide behind makeup, okay? That our confidence is reliant on makeup. Because a lot of people, especially ladies, like the insecurities, can pile up from that. And I have been through that before as well. I had so many blemishes and pimples in my face, and I covered it with makeup, and because that was my insecurity, but it actually just made it worse. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. But the confidence is not reliant on the makeup. But when you put on makeup, and even when you put on clothes, right, like proper clothes, be more presentable, you're more prepared. It helps you, honestly. I have a friend who's a stylist, and she's a Christian, and she helps women, especially Christian women, present themselves well as speakers and all these things. So she's that stylist, and because she teaches that the true confidence is not coming from like how you look on the outside, but how you look on the outside will also help your self-esteem and helps you get ready. It does something, ladies. It adds something, especially for me personally. When I do it, it helps me get ready. Like, okay, Jenna, I have to like get ready in the morning. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, there are some meetings that I just show up, I just woke up, right? I didn't even brush my teeth, but in my head I'm already prepared the night before. There were moments that I wasn't completely ready, and I was really like a little bit lost, and it's just by the grace of God that He saves me every time. But what can we do? We can prepare. So prepare as much as you can with every event. So imagine, even if this is a recording, this is in a way still an event, that someone's going to watch this. Someone is probably eating their food right now, or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're you're on the way somewhere to go to church or to go somewhere. Whatever you're doing right now, you actually took time to listen. Maybe you're listening while you're doing the laundry. You're still listening, and I want to honor you with that. So like, I can honor you by preparing, and by preparing, it also helps me be more confident. So hopefully you understood that, right? It's the sense that I am ready. I am ready, and so like putting on makeup, and even like putting on nice clothes or proper clothes, and not just clothes from at home, it gives this sense that I am ready. All right, so that's it. Those are my 5 P's for today. You can just check out, watch this again if you want to review that. But those are my 5 P's at the end. In summary, ladies, true confidence is being sure in Jesus. And so you need to spend time with Him, because I tell you, nothing beats the confidence that the Holy Spirit can give. Right? All right. So hopefully that helps you, especially so that you can face the camera. I have an invite for you right now. I have this challenge coming up in May 16 until 18. So it's a Thursday until Saturday, 8 a.m. Philippine time. Please work out whatever time zone you're in. I'll be putting the details in the description box below. I have a courage and confidence challenge. So it's a 3-day free workshop, and I know you've already listened to me talk about confidence, but we're going to talk more and dig deeper. This is probably just a 15-minute, 20-minute video, but there it's 3 days. Imagine it's a conference, but it's not. It's just this 3-day workshop, and we can dig deeper and really work on so that you can show up in your businesses and the purposes that God has for you in this season, because we need confidence to be able to step up in that. We need the courage, right? And to get rid of the fear and whatever else is hindering you from stepping into God's purposes for your life, right? Because we all need to rise up, because God is doing something amazing and miraculous and beautiful all around the world with his revival, and I want us to be a part of it. I don't want you to miss out, so you better do what you have to do so that you can step in confidence and with courage in the current season that God has for you. So that's an invite. It's a free workshop, 3-day workshop. Please go to the link in the description below to register. And for now, please just subscribe to our channel so that you will not miss a new video when we have it and release it every week. So thank you for watching. This has been Jenna, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.